X-Men Dark Phoenix is a 2019 superhero film based on the characters of Marvel Comics. It was produced by 20th Century Fox and distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures. Now, this is the 12th installment of the X-Men movie franchise, and after 19 years, this is the final chapter. This movie was directed by Simon Kinberg. There was a lot of expectation for this film. A lot of people wanted this franchise to go with a bang, after so many years. So in the next couple of minutes, we're going to find out if this movie is good or if this movie is bad. So stay tuned. The good. What I really like about this film, I would say, is just the returning cast. Some of this, actors and actresses, some of them are not as liked by some, fans. They don't like them. They don't like their portrayals. But I don't have a problem with them. What I really like is a film that kind of tries to stay true to the original cast. And yes, this universe of this X-Men universe has changed so much. It has gone from one generation to the other, and some of the actors are not even the same. But I definitely like it when I see this film, and they kind of have a continuity, and they have at least tried to fix this continuity in these films in the last couple of years. So we have the same actors portraying the same characters. So definitely that's the part that I really like, is the fact to see the same actors. I think Sophie Turner did a phenomenal job portraying Jean Grey. I think she's the highlight of the film. She has the charisma, I would say, and also she portrays the emotional character, has the gravitas to portray that, that teenager that is going into emotional distress. And so there are good parts here in the film that I really enjoy. And, sometimes some interactions were unique and actually well done. I really enjoy, I would say, the color palette in this film. It's more muted in comparison, I would say, to the MCU. It's not as colorful, but definitely it feels good, a little darker. So it really goes with the theme of in this case, the film is Dark Phoenix. So it feels a bit darker, but it plays well. I also have no problem with the CGI. I know some people have complained about it, but I have no problem with it. It really fits the profile. Particularly plays so well in fighting scenes. Also, what I like about this film was that it reminded me a lot of the original trilogy. It felt like that at some instances. Maybe not at the beginning, but at the end of the film, on the final bout, on the final battle, it reminded me a lot of the original trilogy, the original X-Men. It felt like that. And for a moment, I felt like I was going back in time to those days. I'm not saying that those films were great, because they're not. Now, you can watch it after so many years and you find so many flaws, and, it was kind of cheesy in so many ways. But at the same time, that was, pretty much what it was. It was pretty much the standard during those years, something that the MCU has changed. But definitely that was the standard, and it felt like that. It felt like I was going back in time. So it's kind of like, you're making 360 and going back to the beginning. So, in that part, I feel that at least they gave us that, and that's something that is always praiseworthy. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. I think the biggest disappointment for me is the fact that the inspiration of the story that this movie was inspired from, the Dark Phoenix saga, it's just it's just inspiration, but not necessarily follows the same storyline or even does any justice to it. The Dark Phoenix saga is considered by many one of the greatest, if not the greatest, X-Men story of all times. It's very impactful, and it has really changed the X-Men forever. And it's one of the great stories by Chris Claremont, and of course drawn by John Byrne. And I really love that story. And definitely here, it's totally, it's not the Dark Phoenix. It's just Dark Phoenix by name, but not necessarily, and it takes some cues from here and there, but that's all it is. It doesn't follow the same thing. It's a totally different reinterpretation of it, but not even on the best, I would say, way. So that's the biggest disappointment to me. It's not as truthful. At the same time, you have to keep in mind that this is operating within the premises of the X-Men movie franchise that has always been totally opposite or totally different from the comics. So, you have to keep in mind when you watch this, but definitely whether it was done right or wrong, it's a matter of opinion. But most importantly, in my case, as a comic book reader, it was a disappointment. Another big flaw of this film is the timing. It feels like it starts in a high note and then it drops, like it goes through a valley for quite a while. That's the reason a lot of people find it kind of boring, because it takes a little bit of time to gain momentum. And then when it gets momentum, which is at the end of the film, which I think was the best part of the film, is the final battle. I think that's the part that I enjoy the most. So, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time. It can become a snooze fest for some, but you know, it takes time because it's going in depth, you know, with the emotional aspects of the characters. However, you know, it's going too deep, characters that we haven't really not grown accustomed to. You know, it's trying to make it more personal when these characters haven't really, you know, in previous films have really we've been attached to them to that point to really feel much for them, or feel that we feel engaged, or we feel that they're compelling to us. So I feel that was the biggest disappointment to me. But yes, you know, it feels like, you know, the wait is time. It kind of drops really bad, and then it goes up on a roller coaster, and it go up and ends on a higher note, but not necessarily on the highest note for the franchise. And definitely that's another disappointment. And this brings me to another point where I found this movie disconnected with reality. And what I mean by that is that some of the characters, they act in ways that we have not seen them acting like this before. So it doesn't really follow the same continuity of the same universe. Yeah, they're the same actors, but they're acting and behaving in a way that is not something that we have seen before. It's like out of character. And that's something that always hurts a film. When you see a character doing or saying or acting in a way that hasn't acted before, you want to find out why they're doing it that way, and there's no explanation. So definitely some of this dialogues, and sometimes the characters completely are off track, and definitely that throws you off because it's not what you saw before or what you will watch in previous films. Yeah, every film needs to be controlled within the same parameters of the same film, but at the same time, when you are creating movies for a single universe that they are connected to other films, that you want to keep those actors and actresses pretty much on character at all times and at all costs. You know, their beliefs have to be the same beliefs, their action have to be the same actions, and also their even their behavior and the way they react to certain things has always to be kept the same. In conclusion, there are a lot of things in this film that are disappointing, yes, but there is entertainment to be had. You know, I really had fun with the film, but at the same time, I checked my comic book geek at the door, and I came this as a moviegoer, just watching this from the premises of the X-Men universe, of the X-Men movie universe. And it's no different from any other films in this franchise. And definitely that's the part where I think I found myself not battling with it, but just accepting it as it was. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that the film has a lot of flaws. You know, even from the movie perspective, as a person that, you know, reviews films, I can say that there were a lot of things there that were not connected well. So the film felt a bit disjointed. It was anticlimactic, at least the ending of it, because ultimately this is the last chapter. You would expect for this to go with a bang and try to, you know, throw everything, even the sing, out the window just to make it look nice and just to say a nice farewell after 19 years, pretty much in the movie franchise. But they didn't do it. They kind of finished it. They kind of left it a bit open, but at the end it feels like an ending, but not necessarily the best ending or a powerful ending, and that was disappointing. But yes, the film has a lot of good things that you can enjoy, and definitely I really had fun with it for what it was. I don't think it's the best film in this franchise. I think Days of Future Past is the best one, and that doesn't really mean much because it's better, but not necessarily the best superhero film. Even the Deadpool films are more entertaining than what you got here. So, but if I have to give this film a final score, I would say 7 out of 10. Now, this is a pretty high. Some people might give it at 6.5, above average. But at least I give it at 7 because I would say the saving grace, the last fight, the last I would say 10 minutes of the film, I felt that the film was going somewhere, or at least it was feeling better, more comfortable than pretty much the middle of the film. But that's just my opinion. I would like to hear yours. So once again, thanks for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.